Hi, everyone. This is Michelle Gramoglia, the president and CEO here at Woodland Pond, and this is my weekly address for Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. To start today, we're going to talk about a very special thing that happens every 4 years, which is that this year is a leap year, and we are going to be doing several green leap-themed events and activities on this Thursday, which will be February 29th. So you have probably seen these flyers kind of up and around, but just to recap it, first and foremost, Jonathan Papan, who is our director of rehab here at the community, it's actually his birthday on Thursday. As far as we know, he's the only Woodland Pond person, whether staff or resident, that has a leap year birthday. So he is going to be crowned Prince for the day. So Jonathan will be our leap year Prince for the day. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., we are going to be having a self-led scavenger hunt throughout the community in aisle common spaces, and you can get a form for what you're looking for at concierge. So again, that will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and I understand that there will be prizes. During lunchtime, the Prince for the day, Jonathan, will be touring around the different lunch areas here at the community to say hi to all of his people in his kingdom, I guess, and make sure to wish Jonathan a happy birthday. At 2 p.m., our health center will host in the Great Room a leap year celebration for residents that reside in the health center or want to come from independent living. And at 3:30 p.m., we will be having a leap day happy hour in the pub. And then that will be followed with a get to know you dinner. So it will be our typical happy hour that we have on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but it will be a special leap year theme or leap day theme. So please do plan on joining that. And then you get to know your neighbor. And everyone is encouraged to wear green on Thursday in honor of leaping like a frog. Some really great news to report over the last couple of days here at the community. Sunday's resident mixer was a huge success by all accounts. I was not able to attend, but Sarah did. And then I got lots of feedback from members of the residents welcome committee that by all accounts, it was as successful as they had hoped that it would be in drawing residents to the community in a way that we haven't really had on Sunday afternoons, and nice activities designed for people to get to know each other and sort of mix and mingle with newer residents or residents that they might not interact with as much. So I'd like to say a huge thank you to the Welcome Committee for putting this together and to the staff that made this happen. Sounds like there's a desire to have more of these kinds of things. So maybe since Sunday afternoons tend to be a little quieter here on campus, maybe this can be something we do once a quarter in the current form or in a different form. But for those that participated, I hope that you had a great time because the feedback that I got sounds like it really was a wonderful opportunity. The next really incredible news that I wanted to share is that yesterday was our first caregiver space in-person discussion group for caregivers here on campus. The woman that facilitated it, who is a resident and a member of our mental health and wellness steering committee, came to my office immediately after the session, and she was quite emotional, which then made me very emotional. I'm a crier, for those that don't know, especially when I'm happy or overwhelmed with emotion. And although I was not in the session myself, what she was able to share while also keeping confidences was that the 8 folks that did attend that were residents were a mix of men and women, which was something we were really hoping was going to be the case because we do have caregivers in both male and female caregivers. She said that the session totally exceeded her expectations in terms of how folks were willing to share. It actually went over time, even though it was being facilitated. And I believe it was a unanimous decision that everyone that was there, or the vast majority that attended this session yesterday, absolutely plan to attend the next session in March. And so, you know, we've tried to do caregiver support groups on campus before, both with inside facilitators, so meaning residents or staff, or with professional facilitators, and they really have not been successful. This was a rousing success. So I would just like to say thank you to that facilitator and to everyone that participated. I hope that you can all build on this relationship with one another, and that we can figure out a way to introduce new caregivers that maybe missed out on the session yesterday. And we are really going to try to encourage the loved ones to participate in next month's. We're going to attempt to do the same Zoom opportunity for you the same evening, which would actually be, give you that date, would be March 25th. So it's the first Monday of the month. So the daytime event would be at 1:30 for the residents, and then we would do the Zoom for loved ones at 7 p.m. We didn't get any but one RSVP yes for that this month, the Zoom one for the families, but we're really going to encourage it for next month, given how successful the in-person was today. On the topic of things being brought to you by the Mental Health and Wellness Committee, I'd like you to just have the following in mind, because we're really doing a lot to try to work on different support opportunities for residents. And coming up in March, we do have the folks from Hammerl Copeland coming to talk to residents about anything that you might need to know about planning for funeral or burial arrangements, or how to sort of navigate the time between death and remembrance for your loved ones. And so that's going to be on March 26th at 3 p.m. So that will be your opportunity to hear sort of all the things that you might not normally talk about how to make funeral and burial arrangements. That's going to be on March 26th. And obviously they will have time for questions. And then on Wednesday, April 24th at 1 p.m., the Mental Health and Wellness Committee has invited attorney Anthony Emnowitz from, he has offices in Kingston and Poughkeepsie, and several of us know him really well, to talk to you about your planning from a legal perspective for the next phase of your life. So making sure that your healthcare proxy, your power of attorney are in order. Obviously, we've been auditing these. We've been finding a lot are either outdated or don't make sense anymore, given your situation. We've been encouraging you to get those cleaned up, because those documents do speak for you and yourself when you can't speak for yourself. He's also going to talk about the distinction between those documents and a living will, and how that ties in with advanced directives like a MOLST form. And really importantly, he wanted to tailor this to Woodland Pond. And so he had asked to review our residence and care agreement, and he recognizes that there is, for some residents, a significant refund that will be paid upon the termination of the contract, or if you pass away. And he really wants to talk from a legal perspective about things to consider when determining how you're going to designate the beneficiary of that refund. And he may have other Woodland Pond specific tips. So I would highly encourage you to plan on attending that session on Wednesday, April 24th at 1 p.m. And of course, all of these things will be in the calendar. We are also working on scheduling compassionate care to come and give us an update on where the Medical Assistance in Dying Act, or MAID Act, is in the New York State Legislature. I know that a lot of residents are very interested in this, and they usually come in once or twice a year to give us an update. So we're looking at scheduling that in the next couple of weeks as well. On the next topic, we have, with warmer weather coming, seen an uptick, unfortunately, in non-Woodland Pond related activity on campus, specifically on our roadways. And we do see this every year. And every year it's a challenge to figure out, how do we make sure that we maintain our commitment to not being a closed campus, but also allowing for the ultimate safety for everyone that is on the campus. Specifically in the past couple of weeks, we've seen, people coming through on their bicycles, coming from the neighborhood and going out towards North Putt on our property. They're clearly not residents. Actually, one is passing by my window right now. We actually had a couple of incidents last week where someone is on either roller skates or rollerblades and is being pulled by two dogs. This is not a resident or a staff member. And these are things that create risks and can startle residents, can startle your pets, certainly are not safe on our campus. And of course, we do want to be an open campus, but we need to do so safely. What I would ask of you, and this is sort of the same message that we have every year, is if you see something that you think is odd or unusual about somebody on our campus, whether they're on their bike or on horseback or on roller skates, or they're sitting in a car parked somewhere, we need you to contact concierge right away. If you don't have concierge programmed on speed dial on your phone, you should. And if you need help with us doing that, you can just bring your cell phone down to concierge, and they can put the Woodland Pond concierge phone number right in your phone. The alternative is you could always hit your PERS button, but then we have to find you. So the fastest thing to do is if you see something, to call us at concierge and tell us exactly what it is right when you see it. We do not want you confronting anyone, please. We don't know how people are going to react. We don't want you to be in a situation where, you're at risk, but we do need you to report whatever you see right away so that we can try and intervene as quickly as we can. We will continue to think about ways that we can navigate this. None of us wants to put gates on either end of the campus, and especially not with guards. Gates wouldn't necessarily keep walkers out, for example, or people on their bikes. A guard would, but none of us want that. So it's always sort of this, how do we manage this? And once the nice weather comes, we see an uptick. We do need your observations and we do need your vigilance, but calling concierge and putting that number in speed dial is a really important and easy tool for you to be able to help us. The Sustainability Committee has asked me to remind you and to give feedback on the new signs that are in the waste rooms. This is part of the endeavor of our waste task force to try and enhance the maximization of good waste management in our waste rooms, meaning making sure people understand how to recycle certain things, how to discard and dispose of other things. So please take a look at those signs. A lot of hard work went into creating them and getting those hung. So if you have feedback on those signs for the Sustainability Committee, you certainly can reach out to anybody on SUSCOM or to Rob Dunn and let us know what you think. Rob also has asked me to let everyone know or remind everyone that we are actively scheduling the annual cleanings. We're kind of just going along in our normal process of picking people off the list when they're due to schedule those cleanings. But if you are wanting to have yours sooner than later, you can certainly contact Carrie Burns at extension 5523. And you can schedule that with her. She'd be appreciative of that. Okay, so the last thing I just wanted to mention, and this does actually tie into the concept of annuals and cleaning things out. We are seeing a slight and concerning uptick in the amount of things that people are keeping. And we really would like everyone to consider a nod towards spring cleaning right now and over the next month or so. We're keeping too much stuff. Our staff are keeping too much stuff. Residents are definitely keeping too much stuff. We're seeing it in the form of very cluttered or filled apartments and cottages. We have concerns about safe ability for EMS or ambulances to get through your places, in some cases with a stretcher. Your ability to safely ambulate in your homes has come into question in some cases because of the sheer amount of things that you've accumulated. The storage cages in the basement are completely overrun with things that don't seem to be getting touched at all, or if they are, it's very rarely. This is the time to start really making an effort to clean things out. We know that you have time. Some are busier than others. But even if you dedicated 15 minutes a day to throwing things away or finding new homes for things, this is the time to do that. We will schedule a free store soon so that you can start putting things aside for an upcoming free store. If you need boxes or if you need a large recycling bin to help you in your apartment or cottage with this effort, please contact Concierge and we will give you all of the tools that you need to help you start to really declutter and simplify your life. It's really important because this way you have agency over what happens to your things. And we can help you to figure out the best way to dispose of things in a way that's helpful, meaningful, resourceful. There are a lot of organizations that we can have things donated to, but we're concerned about safety, and we are concerned about how full all of our spaces really have seemed to have gotten. So we're going to be working on decluttering and downsizing, and we're asking you to do the same thing. All of this also helps once it is time for the EVS team to come in and do your annual cleanings, because it's very, very hard for them to do regular cleanings, let alone the annuals, if there's just an overabundance of belongings or papers or whatever it is in your homes. If you need help, please contact Concierge. We will bring you all the tools that you need. We can even make referrals for extra resources if you need helping hands at a cost-effective rate. This is the time we're all going to work on it, and I encourage you to do the same thing. You know where to find me. I hope you're well. Thank you.